Good day to all. Welcome to another interesting video from Mike's Choice 1. Hope you remember that we went to Beijing in our first episode related to China. Then in our second episode, we traveled to Hangzhou and even did a private tour to a night market. Today we are traveling from Hangzhou to Shanghai. So after a good breakfast, we started our 3-hour journey. In midway, we had a break for a snack. Before I tell you what I found at that rest place, I would like to give you some tips about your travel luggage. I frequently use a one which can carry 23 to 25 kilograms. It is an American Tourister. Why did I select this one? It is the cheapest low-weight hard case luggage. Yes, it is a hard case, and since 2023 it has been going to different places with me, usually with about 25 kilograms total weight. Yes, it has proved itself, and we bought a second bag for Usha too. As you see, I have added a name tag with email and mobile number using industrial level label. On top of that, I do use a luggage belt. This will help you to identify the bag faster when you are at the luggage carousel. This belt also lockable to provide an additional layer of security and can carry the identification. Never have your physical address on any label. On top of this, I do have an air tag from Apple telling me the location of the luggage. If your baggage arrive with you, then the air tag will tell you that it is there with you, or as this screen show, it will tell you that though you have arrived in Melbourne, the bag is still in Hong Kong. This is a screenshot from my Apple phone when the luggage was left in Hong Kong during the transfer by some error. You would see the next update when it reached Melbourne Airport without the owner. So please note, purpose of this explanation is not to market American Tourister or Apple AirTags, but to help you to find what is best when you travel. I do not think that the relevant luggage is now available with American Tourister dealers anymore, as we bought the last piece in Melbourne after a massive search. Hope these tips will help you. I will provide tips on best communication connection for your mobile during your tour in China towards the end of this video. So stay with us. Anyway, now when we stopped at the rest place between Hangzhou and Shanghai, I found what I have been looking for. Bullfrog. Yes, you heard it right, bullfrog. Though it looks nice, it did not taste great. When I had frog legs in Singapore, and even in some other places it was good, but this was not. I think it was only me who saw this and even tasted this. We also had a coffee, and that took off the bad taste. We reached Shanghai on schedule, or even before the schedule, and our guide was good enough to stop at the center where we can see all the important locations. It was next to Hyatt Regency Hotel Shanghai, and also other tall buildings. So now our whole team is walking to Hyatt Regency Hotel, as that would be the best to get this bird's eye experience in Shanghai. Mind you, this is not a scheduled tour in TripADeal itinerary, but I think they need to look at including this if time permits. So the full credit to our tour guide JJ. You can see 3 tall buildings in this photo. The one closer to you is the Hyatt Regency. One on the left is the bottle opener, as they say, and the other one is the tallest in China. That is called Shanghai Tower. It is 632 meters tall. Here we are now in the elevator to get to 88th floor observation deck of Hyatt Regency Hotel. Cost per person was 120 RMB. And tickets were purchased by JJ, our guide, so we did not have wait in the queue. It was a very smooth climb, and we did not even feel it other than locking our ears. Why did we go to Hyatt Regency Observation Deck? That provides the best view of the ground and also the other taller buildings around you. And the cost to go to Shanghai Tower is almost double. So it was a good selection by our guide. They do have a security check, and they do not allow you to take lighters and sharp objects to the observation deck. So you need to leave such items at the security and collect it later when you are back. The Hyatt Regency Shanghai, formerly known as the Grand Hyatt Shanghai, was designed by Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, SOM. It is housed in the Jin Mao Tower, a striking skyscraper in the Pudong area. The hotel occupies the top 36 floors of the 88-story building. The hotel is known for its height and classic elegance. When you go to the observation deck, you can see the Shanghai TV Tower and many other buildings around. Shanghai TV Tower, which you can identify with 2 globes in the spine, was something special to me, as it had UHF TV antenna from an Australian company which is no more. The Shanghai Tower was designed by the American architectural firm Gensler, with Shanghainese architect Jun Xia leading the design team. The tower takes the form of 9 cylindrical buildings stacked atop each other that total 128 floors, all enclosed by the inner layer of the glass facade. This is the view of Hotel Atrium, as seen from the observation deck. That was really amazing, isn't it? This is the Shanghai World Financial Center. It is an iconic skyscraper located in the Pudong district of Shanghai, China. Designed by Kohn Pedersen Fox and completed in 2008, this striking building features a unique architectural design with a portal cutout near its summit, giving it the nickname Bottle Opener. Standing at approximately 1,614 feet, 492 meters, tall, it was the second tallest skyscraper in Shanghai as of 2019 and is notable for its innovative construction techniques that enhance its stability against high winds and earthquakes. The design incorporates elements of traditional Chinese symbolism, with a square prism representing the earth and the arcs symbolizing the heavens. Now you are looking at the scaled model of the Grand Hyatt building, which inside the observation deck. If you need, you can also buy some souvenirs at this place. So this was the beginning of our private tour, as we were not taking the optional tour to Yuan Garden through TripADeal. We also said no to night cruise through TripADeal. That was also another optional tour, where we need to pay around 240 renminbi per person. But we did visit Yuan Garden, and also the night cruise at a cheaper price on our own. So as you see, we are now heading to Yuan Garden using metro. We had a look at the iMaps and found as to which station that we need to get to in order to go to Yuan Garden. You need to go to Yuan Garden Station from wherever you are. We walked through the busy old Yuan Street. The charm of the old street, its historical architecture, and the lively ambience make it worth the visit. Whether you're shopping, eating, or simply enjoying the view, Yuan Old Street offers a delightful glimpse into Shanghai's rich culture and history. When you reach the Yuan Garden entrance, we had to buy the tickets using either WeChat or Alipay. Here we are at the entrance with one more couple who joined us as our team member. There was another gentleman, another fellow Melbourneian who had also similar roots to us, as he also had the Sri Lankan origin. We spend quite a time inside the Yuan Garden, as it is around 5 acres. Yu Garden, also known as Yuan Garden, Yuan in Chinese, is a classical garden ranking among the must-see attractions in Huangpu District, Shanghai. It dates back to the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644, and was owned by a government officer named Pan Yunduan. Yu in Chinese means pleasing and satisfying, and this garden was specially built for Pan's parents as a place for them to enjoy a tranquil and happy time in their old age. Yu Garden is small in size, but it contains all elements that a classical Chinese garden should have. After our garden visit, we had a bit of lunch as Yuan Bazaar area, and then went to buy our tickets for the night cruise. From there, as we had another hour, we went to Nanjing Road Pedestrian Street Bazaar. It's a famous shopping street and a major tourist destination in Shanghai. It's known for its wide range of shops, from high-end boutiques to traditional stores, and is considered one of the busiest shopping streets in the world. It was a very busy place. Then we rushed back to Shiliupu Wharf to get to the night cruise. We had to get out at the same Yuan Garden station for that and walk. Here you see our team on the boat. We had a nice place where we could see around and take ample videos of the lights and beauty around. We had to wait in the queue to get into the boat, and it was a large boat. A Shanghai night cruise on the Huangpu River offers stunning views of the city's illuminated skyline and iconic landmarks. The cruise typically lasts around 45 minutes to 1 hour, departing from various jetties along the river, and provides a relaxing way to experience Shanghai's vibrant nightlife. There are many parties that will offer this cruise, and we took from Shiliupu Wharf and can recommend taking it. It was around 120 renminbi per person, but TripADeal had a higher price tag, possibly with all their markup to cover their costs. We had even a look at the prices offered by other tour operators, but this was by far the best offer. It was a fabulous light show around the Huangpu River. I really loved to see the Shanghai TV tower and the area and how the lighting was done. You can buy the ticket to same tour that we did by visiting the Shiliupu Wharf, but go early as the ticket may get sold fast, and it is recommended to join the tour, which starts around 6:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. the latest. Even the area called the Bund was lit well. The Bund, also known as Waitan, is a famous waterfront area and historical district in Shanghai, China. It's a must-see attraction known for its stunning skyline views, historic buildings, and vibrant atmosphere. Stretching along the west bank of the Huangpu River, the Bund offers a blend of architectural styles and a glimpse into Shanghai's past and present. Many buildings showed welcome to Shanghai message too. But by far, I like the one on the Shanghai Tower. I hope you would agree with me when you take a look at the same thing. So after the cruise, we went to our hotel by metro. We never met our rest of team, who had taken the tour through TripADeal, but they said they were a bit disappointed. After we reached hotel, we ordered water and see who brought it to us. It was cute to see this one even saying bye to us.
Thank you.
Now this is our 9th day in China. After breakfast, we went to Bund area, and our guide was giving bit of introduction on the Bund area. It was raining. Bund area has been the financial hub for a long time. So what he was explaining was at one time eastern side of Huangpu River was the powerful area, and now it is the western side of Huangpu River which is powerful. Though it was raining, we could walk about using the rain ponchos provided by TripADeal team. But we used our own ponchos which we took from Melbourne, and the quality was much better. We walked a bit and then we went to Shanghai Museum, which is in an old building. It was a bit about China's rich history from various dynasties to present day. They had used various methods to present the history, and it was a worthwhile tour. But I'm not going to take you around the museum, as I may have to do a separate video for rest of our tour if I go to show the complete museum. We could not ignore this beautiful old Chinese street background, and we took a photos of us in front of that backdrop. As an ex-serviceman, and as I served as a military communications specialist, there were few display items which got me really interested. What you see here is an old radio which may have been used to communicate long distances using Morse code. On the rooftop there is a restaurant and a bar, so you could have a bite there. But we did not stay there, as we were planning to get to our next destination to catch the maglev train. Elngyang Station. The Shanghai Maglev, magnetic levitation, train has two stations, Longyang Road Station and Pudong International Airport Station. The Longyang Road Station is located in the city center, while the Pudong Airport Station is at the airport. The maglev line connects these 2 points, providing a fast transport option between the airport and the city. This was offered as an optional tour by TripADeal, but we were determined to do that on our own. We did a bit of research and found out that we could do the tour by purchasing tickets at the station. This train departs every 15 minutes from either end. Cost per person just for one-way trip is 50 RMB and round trip is 80 RMB per person. You do not have to purchase these in advance. Our train is arriving, and they do announce to be careful when the train approaches the platform. Look at the rail patch. Has it got wheels? No. Shanghai's maglev train does not have wheels. It uses magnetic levitation, maglev, technology to move without physical contact with the track, relying on the repulsive force of magnets for both levitation and propulsion. This allows for higher speeds and reduced friction compared to traditional trains with wheels. Yes, now we are moving. The complete journey from Longyang Road to Pudong International Airport takes only 8 minutes. So the train gradually increased the speed to 301 km per hour. It could go up to 400 km per hour. This is the only commercial maglev train in the world. Yes, today it could have been due to rain that they did not want to run at any speed higher than 301 km per hour. If you carefully look at the glass, you would see that rain is parallel to the ground when we are traveling at the top speed. As we are not on wheels, the ride is extra smooth. Only time it shook was when the other train went passing, and it was like a shockwave, and it is gone. I could not capture that moment too. After we got on board and was waiting to move, we saw that our other colleagues who had booked the tour through TripADeal walking past to get on board. One more tip for those who are departing Shanghai on the same day as your trip on maglev: you can get a 20% discount on your ticket. You can see the other track on to your right-hand side, so quite different to other rail tracks. Now you can see that we reached the maximum speed. Yes, 301 km per hour. That is the maximum for today. It can do a top speed of 431 km per hour. But not today. For today, this is the maximum speed. Look at the glass. Water travels parallel to ground. Now we have reached Pudong Airport end. Let me show you how this train is held in its track. That looks interesting. So if you got a return ticket, you need to get off the train and then go out and come back to revalidate your second trip. We met our tour guide at this point, as he was going to revalidate the group ticket for those who traveled using the optional tour cost. After we came back to Longyang Station, we met two of our group members as they were about to buy the tickets. To get on board Maglev. Maglev Experience is a must-do tour if you get to Shanghai. After completing our Maglev tour, we got to a place called AP Market by Metro. AP Market is a place where you can find cheap suits and other material. We first had our lunch at this place, and we would not recommend having meals at this place as they are all messed up. Takes too much time to deliver the food, and then the food may be different to what you order too. But the next restaurant should be better. We never tasted it. Then we found places where we could buy some luggage and things. They do have good-looking products here, and even things like prescription sunglasses. They could tailor suits for you within short time too. But you need to haggle the price. Start with 10% of their price. After purchasing whatever we needed, we headed back to our hotel for the night. On our way back, we met this little robot again in the elevator. This hotel was also a clean hotel with a reasonable breakfast buffet. So next day was practically the last day or the 10th day of our tour. So we had our breakfast and got to bus to travel back to Hangzhou, as that was our domestic airport to commence the journey back home. We could pass through the Chinese countryside and suburban areas to get back to Hangzhou. Now I think it is the time for me to provide you tips about keeping yourself connected with the rest of the world while you stay in China. Yes, they do have Wi-Fi in almost all the places wherever you go, and you could use that to get connected to internet. But keep in mind, these connections will not allow you to run applications like WhatsApp, Google Maps, or Facebook. So you could do two things. One is to have a good virtual private network or a VPN from a good party out of China. But I found my VPN does not work properly. So the best proven method would be to use a SIM card from an outside operator. If you have a later version mobile phone, you could also use something called eSIM. I usually carry two phones. One is connected to Optus, and that package provide me up to 2 GB of data connectivity, while roaming as included to the package. So this phone was on this particle package in roaming. The other phone is on Boost network. Even Boost has a package for 10 GB for 10 days with a cost of $20. But what I finally selected was an eSIM from Nomad. They provided an data-only eSIM with 20 GB of data, valid for 30 days at $31. We took another eSIM for Usha from them, with unlimited data at around $40. These functioned as expected, and all the other numbers were diverted to my Optus connection. We passed suburban areas with large number of multi-story housing complexes, which looked like 3D printed versions, and also beautiful green village areas. I must say Chinese roads and building capabilities are noteworthy. See how beautiful these roads are. Then we came to another rest area for a break. We had a cup of coffee, and no, at this time, no bullfrogs. And see who modeled for me at this place. She was one of our team members from South Australia. Then after another hour's travel, we reached the airport in Hangzhou. You would see that it is also a big airport. Yes, I forgot to mention that how you could reserve the seats in China, Southern if you are in a TripADeal tour. You can call them, ask to get the seat you need. That's simple. You see one of our luggage before we handed it over. We always take a photo of the luggage before we hand over to the airline. This is in case if we do not receive the luggage at the other end to show the staff, as that would help all concerned. That is another important tip. Usha had to get the passport checked by some staff, and our guide JJ helped us to get it done without being in the queue. This was where TripADeal end their responsibility. We did our security checks and had a bit of lunch as we had the flight around 3:35 in the afternoon. Then we went to our gate area. Hangzhou is a large and beautiful. We walked quite a distance to get to gate. We waited until we saw that there is no boarding notice. Then we saw this appearing on the screen closer to the gate. Though there was an airport staff at the gate, he could not speak English. So now we had to locate this number 25 all the way back to the same entrance through exit doors. Then we found airline staff who helped us to get to the bus to hotel. The flight has been postponed due to weather in Guangzhou. Even in Hangzhou we had heavy rains. It was in a way good that they decided to delay the flight when the weather is not good. But for us, it was an inconvenience. The bus took us to a nearby small hotel called Hotel Lavender. This is where we saw as to what happens to people those who travel as single person. One of our members had to put on with an unknown person, and that person was a heavy smoker who did not want to even listen to hotel staff. Next we were provided with either lunch or dinner around 5 p.m. This was not a bad meal, but not really a great one either. Then we were told that the flight may be at 5:30 p.m., but this was later changed to a different time. Finally, we left Hangzhou around 10 p.m. When we got to Guangzhou, it was early morning, closer to 1 a.m. There was just 1 or 2 counters open for rebooking, and we were given 2 options. One was to travel in the morning flight, or the other was to take the 9:20 flight, which was in the night. It was around 3 in the morning when our flights were rebooked. There were about 4 people from airline to attend this matter. Anyway, all those passengers were provided with hotel accommodation if we wanted to take it. But we had to be back at the airport by 5 a.m. to get to the morning flight. So we decided to rough out in the airport rather than heading to hotel. As it was not a nice experience, I do not want to share any photos that I took during our nap in the airport. Early in the morning, we got some toothbrushes and toothpaste from a shop inside and got ourselves freshen up. But we had to wait for another long time as the departure time was amended regularly. Finally, we were ferried around the airport to the aircraft, which was parked long way from the gate in the tarmac. Then we had to wait again. Rain was still continuing. Hope you will say how tired we were by then. To my amazement, they even served a meal to us while on ground. This was the first time that I had a meal service done while waiting. I think that was a really good move, and the food was good. Finally we took to air, and the rest of the flight was smooth, and we did not have any issues until we reached Melbourne. But by the time we got to Melbourne, we were really tired. Only consolation was that we had all our luggage, and we did not have much issues even at the customs. What you see here is the very special souvenir that I received from my friend in Beijing, sitting in our house along with the rest ornaments. And this is our TripADeal team with the guide who was with us in Beijing at the Tiananmen Square. Thank you for watching all these 3 episodes, and hope you would subscribe my channel to get further updates on various trips and other technical matters. See you in another interesting video.